Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Friends Podcast, man. Thank you so much for joining us. And if it's your first time, thank you for coming through. We appreciate all the listeners.
Yes,
My name is
sir.
Matt, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
What's up? It's Jermaine.
And I'm Rod, and this is the Friends Podcast. Make sure you check us out. We're streaming everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our socials: TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram at the Friends Pod. We got merch, live shows, and so much more things coming to you. Get ready and be on the lookout.
Notifications on everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So, I was just reflecting. I feel like once it gets hot outside, you start thinking about, man, what would I have done back on an 80 something degree day in April back in college? I just been thinking about some of those like college memories, college moments. There's been a lot of talk about the new Hulu doc on Freaknik. What are some experiences that from college that you wouldn't have want filmed? I mean, you don't got to get in detail about the stories, but what are some moments where you're like, man, nah, I don't want anybody to see that on film, especially not my kids in the future.
I mean, I'm not gonna go into specifics, but it's been in some parties where there's been some debauchery going on. I mean, the thing is though, like I remember, me, Rod, and Jermaine, we reacted off the podcast to like a twerk contest, and I done definitely been to some parties like that. So I guess that's not crazy to be on camera, like, because it's on YouTube. Um, you know what I mean? Like getting twerked on in the parties, everybody's sweaty and drunk and all that type of stuff. It'll probably be for me though. I'd probably say the stories where like I was just out of it and just, puking up my whole guts and all that type of shit. Like I wouldn't want that shit on camera because that shit embarrassing. Like it's already embarrassing enough just like when you got to duck off and be like, oh, let me, I'll be right back. Like,
See, when I have kids, I don't think I'm going to hide that type of stuff from them though. Like,
no.
I think I want to prepare my kids for the real world. So I'm definitely going to have that talk about, listen, like, this is how you don't get sick, don't throw up at parties. And if you do, this is how you can handle it. You don't want to be that girl, but this is how you might end up in that situation. Always eat before you drink. Like, I want to give them like the real. I feel like most people in college learn that type of stuff after you make mistakes.
And I think that's the best teacher, to be honest. Like you got to bump your head and do type of shit like that. Like of course you could tell them like the basics, like you said, eat, have a full stomach, don't take drinks from strangers and shit like that. But they gonna have to get it out the mud like I did. I didn't have nobody. I was just because going to college. Me personally, I didn't come from a family that drank or smoked, so like I was just kind
Same.
of freestyling, like
Same.
just doing shit. You know what I mean? I had to bump my head.
Would you do that
Mm-hmm.
with your kids? Just to kind of get them known to what a drink may taste like or what drugs may be like? Would y'all test it with them first before they go off to college? If they're willing to. I mean, of course, not forcing them, but
Yeah, I've thought about that before. My dad had a friend who was like a big partier when he was in college. And so when his daughter was getting ready to go to Michigan State, he like got her super drunk one night, like got her stupid drunk at the house, throwing up and everything to be like, see, now you know what your limits are. And now you know what it feels like to get this drunk. So that she could go to school and be like, okay, cool, I know what to not do.
dad
So
of
I
the
could see
year.
myself doing something like that.
I think so.
Yes. I feel like you can kind of get an idea what your kid may be like from high school.
Yeah,
Like
for
if you have a
sure.
troublesome kid throughout high school, you probably should make sure you tell him everything. Um, and I'll also say with the very shy person because they're gonna be introduced to a lot more people,
Mm-hmm.
and they wouldn't know how to react if they haven't been around a lot of people or how to um, act accordingly in those type of positions.
Yeah. And I think that was the case in this situation is like she was a little sheltered. I think she had always gone to like Catholic school and was just like, he knew that she wasn't a big partier in high school. So he was like, okay, I know she's going to go to Michigan State and turn up because that's just what happens at MSU. And so he wanted to make sure that like her first experience wasn't, welcome week throwing up at a frat house, which I respected. So I could see myself doing something like that?
I mean, me personally, to answer the question, I'm gonna say I don't want my kids to see anything from college. I don't want them to see me even now, really. Um, like I don't know. I'm one of those people. I don't want anything like necessarily on camera or videotape for real. I mean, I'll let them know of all the troubles and things like that. I am one of those parents who probably definitely would have a drink or smoke with their kid early
I can
on,
see that.
so they can already get the gist of it. I don't know how my wife would be. I mean, I hope she would be okay with them yet. If she ain't, we just have to do a low key. Other than that, yeah, I mean that's my answer to that one.
Well, speaking of which, so getting a little bit further into the story. So as I kind of touched on a little bit earlier, um, as we've talked about on a previous pod, Hulu's getting ready to release a Freaknik documentary. It comes out in 2024. And so there've already been like, some little previews of it. People are talking about it in the industry. And what's interesting is that there's a C-level exec who's like, hey, actually, like, I don't want this coming out. I'm trying to block this because she's, I guess, shown in an unflattering light. So who knows what that means? I'm assuming that means probably, shaking ass or something, in public. And now she's married. She has 3 kids, and she actually makes north of $1 million in her current role. So she's hoping to block it because she's like, nah, I don't want people to see me like that. If you had the power to stop something like that coming out, would you take that action, or you'd be like, nah, like I did it. I'm going to own it. It is what it is.
I think that why be ashamed of who you were in the past? I mean, of course, people gonna grow throughout their life and stuff like that, but I don't know. I just feel like that's being ashamed of who you are because what you did got you to being $1 million woman. You know what I mean? So like,
And it
if you
got you that
didn't,
man, girl.
that too. You know what I mean? And so like, the thing that she did got her to what, the point that she at. So like, why would she try to hide that? I understand to look bad, like if your kids really see you on there and your colleagues see you on there. Like I understand how that might look, but at the same time, like that's who you were, right? Like you can't. I
Mm-hmm.
hate when motherfuckers be trying to fake the funk, like they didn't never, like they never came from nowhere. Like everybody came from somewhere. So I mean, would I do that? Definitely not. I definitely wouldn't try to take my shit out. Like keep everything in there. That's who I was at that point. That might still be who I am at this point, but whatever it was, like that was the
With the
life I
with the
was
Me
living.
Too movement and everything going on, you sure you want that out? And we all know Freaknik was known to be a very predatory type of atmosphere.
It was. I wouldn't have been on that though. I can say that with confidence. I'm not even that type of nigga at all. Like, I already
Mm-hmm.
know. Now, if that was me,
Then that's a different
um,
story.
yeah, like if that was something that I was actually partaking in and like taking advantage of women and stuff like that, of course not.
I feel like that wasn't even like the talk back then. It was more or less it was the norm. Like they were going there for that.
I feel like even if you're let's say a 40, 50-year-old man who was on that type of time back then, like that was also 30 years ago, I would kind of give you a pass. Like people just didn't know some of that stuff now. Like they weren't having the same conversations about consent and whatever. So I don't even know if I could really be mad at somebody for going crazy then. As long as it's not too I have seen some of those videos that like are a little bit too rapey.
Oh
But
yeah.
Y'all remember the Woods movie?
Hmm.
Y'all ever seen it? And when they were kids, they were like grabbing ass and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like that scene now, maybe a little cringeworthy, but back then it was normal. I feel like that's like what looking at Freaknik would be like. It'd be like, it's a little cringeworthy now, but back then it would be normal. I feel like that's kind of how they looking at it.
I mean, people used to do that in middle school for sure. Like, I remember this dude got in trouble for it though, because he grabbed this girl ass and like she told,
You ain't never
rightfully
did
so.
that. You never was part of those games, like as a
That's
kid.
no, that's strange to me.
They
Like, I
never
don't think
invited you to
that.
the game.
Nah.
invited you to the game. It was official like that. Wow.
Like you
Okay.
got to.
It would just be in the hallway. Another weird thing that they did though, they would do it to other dudes too. So that was kind of strange. I was like,
Whoa.
okay, y'all, okay,
They do that at
y'all
the end
might
of
be.
all the football and basketball games. Good game.
We weren't playing games though. We was just walking in the hallway. There was no game.
Y'all were on a different type of time. You were progressive early.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't know what type of time they was on, but like, I mean, just To me, nah, like that's if you predatory and doing shit like that, it's just like I don't know. You might have to hide that. You might have to put that in a vault, to be honest. But the shit coming out regardless.
See, I would be more embarrassed of my coworkers seeing it and my professional peers than my kids. Because I feel like if, let's say, this woman has kids who might be like teens, early 20s, whatever, even middle school, and they don't want to listen to her because they probably feel like you're corny, you're lame, like you don't know what's up, you don't get it, I don't want to take advice from you. They might see her doing stuff and be like, oh, shoot, you actually lived a life. Like, yo, you can actually maybe put me up on game because you've actually had some different experiences. I just know you with dad and you got a corporate job and XYZ. I didn't know that you also used to turn up and, shake some ass and dated around or had different experiences.
And I'm gonna use this example again. I'm talked about crackheads probably like last week, but who you want to run the crackhead anonymous meeting? Somebody that never did crack or somebody that did it? You know. And so I think it's
Yeah.
the same principle. Like you can't tell me what to do if you've never been through it. Or you can't help me guide me through sobriety or guide me through, what I'm saying, like life if you never had the experiences that I've had. You know what I mean? So I get that. Um, Now, what I was gonna say is like in terms of the statute of limitations, I don't know about that. Like, yeah, people can change, and maybe yeah, it was 30 years ago, it was 94, 96, and all that, but I don't know. I feel like if you was that age at that time, then I really can't give you no pass, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe I'm just holding grudges and holding on to too much shit, but I feel like that's something that you can't get away from. Once a creep, always a creep. To me,
Well, so what behavior would you say is like unforgivable then?
unforgivable.
Yeah. Like, what is something, is there anything that you feel like, okay, this person might have grown from that 30 years ago? Or like, nah, if you were doing XYZ, then I know you're probably a trash person still.
What serial killers be doing? They be like sacrificing animals and shit like that. Like if you
Hmm.
sacrificing animals at 15, you're out of here.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. I mean, definitely sexual assault slash rape, like real taking advantage of women or women taking advantage of men. Even though it's less common, like those types of things. If you have that
Hmm.
in your mind, not a lot can really change that. Like if you really want to take advantage of somebody, like a lot of how can you change that? You know what I mean? We stuck in our ways about stupid shit like, oh, I love 90s R&B over now, you know what I mean? Or I love, this over that. But like think about what's in your mind when you really got that in your mind. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's unforgivable. I don't know if I can let that go.
I the reason why I asked that. So one thing that I know that I've heard this story before. Now it wasn't Freaknik. It was another situation, actually, way more recent. Um, this guy who is what is he? I think he's a, actually no, I won't say, but he's in a fraternity,
Uh-oh.
and this is like after undergrad. He had told me about like, yeah, me and my frat brothers, we had this house up at a MLK ski weekend, and there was a girl who was in a sorority, and she came. She had a boyfriend,
Mm.
and she was posted in this house in a room the entire weekend. Like everybody in the frat hit. If you went into the room, there were like used condoms all over the floor. Like she literally didn't get out of this room. It was so bad. Like people were just bringing her like food and just like running back and
What?
forth.
Wait. You didn't call the cops on this person? You didn't tell nobody?
I didn't know about this and it happened. When he told me this
But this
story,
sounds
it,
like
it was
crime.
like,
That's crime. That's not a crime.
I don't think it
Don't
was a
sound like a
crime.
little bit of like sex trafficking a little bit? Like it sounds a little weird to me. You had this
I
woman
mean,
in the room just only bringing her food and condoms.
according to him, like this is what type of time she was on. This is what she wanted to do. And when he told me, this was also like after the fact. So, and I didn't know like the frat brothers. I didn't know any of these people. I didn't even know the girl. Like he was just telling me this story or whatever. And I bring that up to say, like, I feel like that type of stuff was going on at Freaknik. And those are things that while I don't think are cool, like that's not behavior I would co-sign from either perspective, the man or the woman. Um, I can see how that could be something that you could grow from. 30 years later, you might be like, damn, that was nasty as hell. But 30 years ago, maybe you were just on some extra horny type of time.
How isn't that nasty at the time?
Hey,
Well, I just don't
I
get
think
like
it's nasty, but that's me.
even telling the story is like, why would you even want to tell that story? Like, you think you get cool points for that?
When he
All right.
exactly, this is somebody I went out on a couple of dates with, and when he told me that story, he's like, I wasn't involved. I didn't do anything with her. But
Cap.
even as he was, that's what I said. I was
You were
looking
just
at him.
sitting there. The nigga was just sitting there watching that. Stop it, man.
He just brought in the food. He was the food giver.
Nigga knew all the details talking about all the condoms. It was 15 condoms in there on the floor, and we brought her some KFC. I mean, they brought it like
Everybody in the frat did it. All the brothers did it. They lined up.
Except me.
I was the
me.
brother that time.
When he told me that, I'm like, is this supposed to be appealing? Like, dog, this is a turn off. Nasty ass.
so. Like that's not. So wouldn't you want like if you were on a date with somebody, wouldn't you want them to disclose things like that? Like
So you know not to mess with them.
exactly.
I
Or
mean,
just, so they put it all out on the table, you know.
shoot, I don't think he did that intentionally. I think he just said it because he thought it was like an interesting story. But it definitely was one of those stories where it's like, oh, we're not going any further than this.
Why
Like,
would you ever tell somebody that you're trying to date that story
yes.
though?
And it wasn't like we were in a relationship. It wasn't like we had built this trust. This is like first or second date conversation. And it was just like, oh yeah, no, we're
Like he
not going
thought,
any further.
is that the Riz these days? Like we just gonna tell the.
And mind you, this guy,
I can see Jermaine asking him though, like, what was some interesting stories? And he might have said, "Oh, I got
Is
one."
that what it was?
you know, that's a good point. I might have asked him about being in a frat. I don't remember. I could have. Knowing me, there's definitely a good chance I could have been like, oh, what's it like being in a frat? And maybe it led to that story.
He couldn't talk about like something
Like
else.
brotherhood.
Yeah, like brotherhood, like y'all being brothers.
I mean, that would be like the wildest story. Like even now hearing, I'm like, man, that's gross. Like that's how they move.
This dude is older than us. He was in his mid 30s when he was telling me this story. And so it's like, dude, you haven't realized like this story should never leave your mouth. If me and you go further, we could be married for 60 years. Still don't ever tell me that story. I never want to know that.
So yeah,
It's one of those things that I want to like see a picture from like back then and then now. Like I want to see the girl like back then and the girl now. Like maybe she's the one that's like $1 million woman.
She is.
Oh.
Yep, she is. That's why I'm saying she might have been the type of woman who like 30 years ago was like, yeah, everybody run a train on me. I don't care. And now today you're 50 years old and that's embarrassing.
I mean they're not gonna show that in the Freaknik doc. Like they ain't gonna show the room with all the shit. Like I don't understand what they think is really gonna be on this documentary, where it's gonna be like, oh my god, like they were doing that. Like it's really just gonna be twerking, maybe kissing, dudes grabbing ass. Like what's gonna be that crazy?
Nakedness.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
people
know.
like naked.
I feel like if all our businesses out there right now with social media, yeah, they gotta go ahead and release it.
Motherfuckers be on Twitter talking about their menstrual cycles, talking about uh sexual escapade. Like they be saying everything these days. Like everything is out there, so you might as well just put it on the table. We can all know about it. Like fuck if your coworker's mad.
I will say I'm grateful that when I was in college, I had this thought like maybe one day I'll run for president. I'm thinking that at like 19 years old. And so because of that, I never really posted on social because I always thought, man, something that might be funny at 21 is not going to be funny at 41.
It's great insight because yeah, they will pull them old tweets up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Donald Trump, he just was president. He did everything.
He's a white man. That's
Drugs, money, girls, grabbing girls by the pussy. He did it all. Still the president. So I don't think it really matters.
it matters for black, especially a black woman. You know how scrutinized she would be. They'll literally scroll through her timeline every day.
You think a black woman will literally get voted in though? You think that actually is gonna happen, or would ever happen?
I mean, Kamala almost there. Just once Joe Biden get up out of here.
Nah, she not. She's not close at all.
Close to what?
Becoming president. Like if Biden, like she would be the next running, like for president. Like I don't think people look at her like the next running.
But I'm saying if Joe Biden croaks,
Oh, like if he dies in office.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Oh, then yeah.
Yes, Grim Reaper knocking. Goddamn it! I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, 4 years is almost up, anyways.
Yeah. For a black woman to be president, though, like, man, to be elected, I think keyword is elected president. It would have to, man, I don't know what type of black woman they would actually let get into a position like that. It would have to be a very special type of black woman.
Very like if Oprah just started running, and maybe she might have a good chance.
Yeah, Oprah might be like the best chance because white people love her.
Honestly, I don't think she is. I feel like it would have to be another politician. It
What
would have
bad
to
can
be
you
like
say about Oprah though?
Oh, people. There's some bad things that people say
Like
about Oprah.
what?
I mean, I'm trying to get a O Network sponsorship, so I'm not gonna say them. But I've heard people that have their criticisms.
Well, hey, give us a call.
Yeah, give us a call. We want a Tyler Perry show too. But I do want to ask this one question though, because I asked one of my homeboys one day. I was like, "What you think could happen first, like a black woman president or a gay president?"
Gay
feel like-
president.
Oh, for
You
sure.
think so?
The gay one almost won.
Who was dude named Pete something?
Pete Buttigieg.
He almost won.
Well, the Democratic, he was like one of the top, like top 5 at least.
He was, yeah.
He was competitive.
Okay, yeah, he was. Okay, I
Yeah.
guess he was. I mean, Shirley Chisholm ran for president in like 1972, but I don't know how far she made it. But we haven't really had a Democratic or Republican. But let me tell you, let me say this though: if Candace Owens was like, you know what, I'm about to throw on my hat, I'm about to run for 2024, 2028, they might do it.
I think she'll be a great president.
I was just
This
about.
episode, go ahead.
I mean,
this
yeah.
episode is fucking over.
I was about to say I low key agree with Rod because, like, if you listen to her, 80% of the stuff she's saying is cool, but then the last 20% she takes it too far, and that's where she pisses me off. Is she'll be making good ass points, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm rocking with you, and then she throws something out that's like way left, and it's like, why not just stick on the points? Like, I don't know. It's like she adds these things to
I
take
think
it
it's just trauma.
extreme.
I think it's just what she's went through, just in her black experience. I think it's a bit of trauma, but mainly I think she'll be able to balance both sides. She'll be able to do things that would actually be helpful to the black community that I think needs to be done. And I think that she'll also have the other side. So I think you need both to be president. You can't just be all. That's why Bernie Sanders is never going to be president, because he's just too
far left.
too liberal. Yeah, it's too left.
True. But that's why I'm saying Candace, I think she takes it too far because she says things that I think the right and the left would agree with. But then it's like she'll throw something out there where she's clearly trying to pander to white people or pander to extremely conservative audience. And it's like, damn, why not just stick on the main point?
I think that's more or less entertainment, though.
But don't do that for entertainment though.
And that's why she pissed me off, because she
Like
could be
Kanye
a
does it.
politician. Yeah, exactly. That's
He
why
gets
they're
the
friends.
most extreme. But the thing with Kanye, he doesn't have any facts or knowledge or read books. So when he gives an extreme, it's just like, what? But if Candy Owen gives like an extreme, like at least she has facts and things to kind of back up why she might have said that. Even though I don't agree, she does have like literally historic things to back up what she's saying.
She definitely has points sometimes, but I will say this: like she just says things that we need to talk about in the black community that we don't want talked about in front of everybody else. But she'll put the shit up on her platform and shit like that, and
which
she'll
is
say
mostly
things.
white folks.
Exactly. And
It's
that's
a lot
what
of
pisses me
problems
off
though
about
with
her.
the black community though. It's like
Yeah, you're right.
it's no togetherness, and I think it needs to be shaken up like our community does. It needs to be shaken up.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, Candace Owens, I do think she wants to help Black people. Um, she gets a little bit lost on her delivery, but I definitely think one of the ways that we can help ourselves is just being better at being willing to help each other.
Yeah, when you talk about being lost on delivery, there's this one story I saw on Facebook, but this one's a little bit in terms of relationships. A guy and a lady here. It was their second date. He tells the lady we're gonna have a nice steak meal, go out and have a good old time. He invites the young lady over. She comes over, all dressed up, looking nice, getting ready to go out, smiling.
She
He's
got jeans
smiling.
on.
And they look like jeggings at that, but
Yeah, she got on
okay.
jeggings talking about dress nice.
And anyways, yeah, I mean they all like
my,
having a
my bad, go
good
ahead.
goody old time. And then he's like, "Guess what?" And she's like, "What?" And he's like, "Look on the stove." Eh, he pulls up a nice steak he prepared. He prepared some vegetables, some mashed potatoes. He got the nice wine glasses out. He poured
It's
them up,
Kool-Aid.
but I don't know if it was Kool-Aid, whether it was a
Red drink.
it
Red
was
pop.
red drink. And yeah, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta do something more special for this young lady. Like, I can't just take her out. Like, everybody do that. Like, I gotta show her my skills and show her something different that not every dude gonna do." He showed us chef. He put his chef hat on, and her response was not appreciative.
At all.
She was mad as hell. She was screaming at him, saying, "Why would you do this? Like, why would you tell me? I could have had somebody else. I could have like you could have just told me straightforward, hey, we ain't going out, and you want to cook for me." But he
Mm-hmm.
was like, but and yes, I mean, she was just upset. So what do we think about unappreciative significant others?
I don't know if it was that she was unappreciative. I think it's more the deception part. Like to me, if you're gonna cook for me at your house, just tell me like, yo, I wanna cook for you. I've definitely had dates like that where somebody just like made me dinner at the crib. But you don't say we're going to a steakhouse and then it's steak at your house. The other thing too is that was their second date. I think sometimes men like underestimate, I don't know, just like safety concerns. Like when I hear men be like, man, these girls, they want to go out. They want to go out. It's like, yeah, because you might be a psycho killer. Like, let me come to the crib once I know you aren't about to slice and dice me. Once I know you aren't Jeffrey Dahmer.
I mean, we don't even know the whole situation. Just because of their second date, don't mean they weren't in communication or known each other for a while before they had that second date or been friends. But you're right. In some cases, that could be a possibility. I mean, there are some sketchy ass people around there.
Listen, man, I would have told her if you don't take your summer vacation braids and get the fuck out of my house,
I can't.
get the fuck out of my house complaining about this shit. Cause this is my thing, though, right? He lied. He did
Thank
lie.
you.
He
Mm-hmm.
did lie. He was deceptive, but why? Why did it have to turn into such an art? Because I just sat there and watched this 4 minute video, of them just arguing back and forth. She talking about the steak look crusty, dusty, musty.
Now that was when she did take it too far. I was like, damn, okay, that's fucked up.
It did look a little dry. It was on the dry
That steak
side.
looked good as hell to me. It was the perfect medium
That
rare.
was not
Like,
medium.
I think the red drink was more so what like threw me off. Like at least get some red wine.
Yeah, that I was like, what is this? What kind of extra Kool Aid masterpiece is this? But like, I would have told her to get out of my house. It wouldn't even been like we wouldn't even have been able to record a 4 minute video because like, okay, you can leave then. Now I got two steaks and I got two servings of broccoli. I could eat that tomorrow.
I was about to say I got meal prep.
Exactly. Like I can meal prep. I could remix this shit for real. Make some steak hibachi for real. You know what I
Ooh.
mean? So it's like,
Actually, that's a good ass idea for a home date.
I would like
Home
a
steak
hibachi.
hibachi date? Yeah.
That is fire though. But yeah, like, I just don't understand why did it have to turn into an argument? Why wasn't she like I said, he did lie, but it would have been dope if she could have been like, oh, you know what? I mean, oh, I thought we were going out. Oh, you made something for me? Okay, let's eat. Like, why couldn't it have been that?
Okay, so then what would you have thought if she had said that? She would have been like, okay, like cool, we'll eat dinner. She eats the dinner, they have the rest of the date, whatever. And then that's the last date. Because in her mind, she's like, this lying ass.
Then I think that's fair because, as I said, he did lie. He was deceptive. So, like, if that's what she chose, then that's fine. But choosing to sit there and argue with this nigga, sitting over this, spitting on the food, you spitting on the food I'm gonna eat later.
She spit on
She,
the food?
I'm just saying, like, just by talking. You know what
Oh.
I mean? No, yeah, she did that. I'd have been like, you could definitely get the fuck out
Yeah, that's a different level of disrespect.
for real. But like, yeah, I don't think. Listen, man, we gotta. Why can't we communicate better? Like yelling, talking about your food nasty, and talking about, oh, I didn't lie, but you did lie, but you did lie. Oh, I didn't lie. Like, that's not a good way to communicate. And I think
Yeah, it
that
was already
it
too
could have went
late.
differently.
The
Yeah.
food was already cooked. He wasn't dressed apparently to go out. So at that point, it's like chop it up. Like get ready to eat at the crib. Like what are you
Yeah.
sitting there like with the mad face for like the entire night? It's like okay, you can be mad, but then set up a different date. But okay, but I don't like how you did it. But next time, like make sure you just be honest with me. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I
just be more
agree.
straightforward.
I think she was wrong in her delivery for sure. Like she was going at him. But I do feel like he should have just been honest. It would have been cute if he had said, hey, I know it's just our second date, but I'm a really good cook. I would love to chef it up for you. And we do something at the crib. Don't worry. I'm not trying to like, take it there if that's not where you want to go. But I would love to like cook for you at home. She might have been like, oh, cute. It's just like, don't say we're going to a steakhouse. That's not funny.
That don't seem like
That's
that
not
was the case. It seemed like she running through one of those ladies who just really want to go out and be at an expensive place, take pictures, um,
not with those damn jeggings on. Baby girl.
take the pictures of the food. She wasn't gonna take any pictures of him.
She did
And
look nice though. She had her makeup on. She had her braids done. Nice shirt. I mean, the jaggings, like I said, kind of throw me off. But like, she looked like she could have went to a steakhouse. I would say, like a very upscale, like a Ruth Chris, a Capitol Grill, something of that nature. Like it looked like it. That nigga probably just had on sweatpants.
she had mentioned, "Oh, I could have had somebody else, some other dude, like take me out tonight if I knew you wasn't gonna do it."
Now that's just disrespectful. He should have said get out at that point.
That's what he pretty much said. He said, "Yeah, then go do that then. Give me my food."
So, right, you said something key that I'm gonna go back to. That if they had went out to a steakhouse, that she would have been taking pictures of the food and not of him. How do you guys feel about that? Like, do you want a girl to be taking a picture of you when you go out? Do you feel weird if she's taking a picture of like the ambiance, the food, everything else but you?
If yeah, I do. Like if we out and I'm looking at your Instagram after the date, I'm like, oh yeah, like we had a great time, and it's literally just the selfies of you and like the great food we ate the entire time, and I'm just like, okay, like it's not my hand anywhere, not my face, not a smile, like there's no like you could have just been going out with your friends, what was the purpose?
But if y'all just dating, you expect that. Like if that's a second date, like I don't want my picture
Yeah,
on your Instagram. No,
yes
what?
I do.
Why?
He's
What do
trying
you
to
mean
mark his
why?
territory.
You might not even be there next week though. You know
It
what I
don't
mean? If it's a second
matter.
date.
It don't matter. We together though. We together now.
I don't know. Niggas can't move in silence no more. Niggas got to be on the internet.
Man, once you start posting stuff, it's like it's not in silence no more. Like if you want to post, then we then I don't understand so bad about showing. Hey, we out. We having fun.
Like her friends gonna be like, "Who the fuck is that nigga?" Like you ain't even told me about that nigga. Like you know what I mean? If it's the second date, like why would I want her to take a picture of me and put it on her story or like an actual
When they
post?
friends already know anyway. Like
Maybe not.
why is the dude so low key?
Yeah, maybe like her best friends, but everybody ain't gonna like all 1,000 of her followers gonna be like, "Who the fuck is it?" She was just dating James last month. You know what I mean? Like so it was like I
Mm.
don't even want to get caught up in that. I don't even like it would be different if it was like, okay, we sit next to each other and we take a selfie or something like that. Like, okay, maybe you can post that, but like just posting a picture of me across from the table, like
So what do you feel about that, Jermaine?
You know what? I'm laughing because I don't really post. I don't really post significant others. So I definitely have done the thing like where it's like out on the date and like you post everything else and it's like stop. So I'm gonna be more mindful
It'd be
of that.
literally a whole video of the entire room in a party and event. And like it's just the person just completely just there. Like just not
Who's in the
there.
other booth over there?
Like you can go to a whole concert and be like, yeah, and then you see them and just like, all right.
I'm sick that that's me. I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better. It just feels like I don't know. It feels more awkward to me. Like even when I see some girls' stories and they go, I think it's either weird if you go out of the way to like make sure your man's not in the video, or out of the way to make him in the video. Like he didn't even need to be in this picture, but you definitely like wanted to show like I got a man.
It depends on the
Yup.
dude though as well. Some dudes are more low key though. Like they may not want to be on
Yeah.
camera. But I feel like if it's someone that you are with, like for real, they
Mhm.
probably would want to be shown.
Mm.
Like Matt, you wouldn't want to be shown ever?
I don't want to be shown, and I'm not showing nobody ever. You got to. You still got to. Nah, I just don't. Because I think of it like this. Because when I think about like Charlemagne, like we did not know what Charlemagne's wife looked like.
Nope.
We never seen her ever. We
Mm-mm.
know he's married, but
Maybe
we
that was her
never seen what she
choice.
looked like. It seemed like it's his choice too. Like also, like when he talk about it, he'd be like, "Nah, I'm not showing
They
them.
had a
Like,
discussion.
we don't know what his kids look like. You know what I mean? I don't like that
Yeah.
type of shit. I mean, I'm not a public figure or anything like that. You know, not at this very point in time. But still, it's just
I
I
agree,
don't like that
but
type of shit.
yeah, if you're just out and about and someone happens to take pictures of you, then I mean, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. I also kind of subscribe to the school of like, don't post until it's permanent. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, hey, until this is like,
That's a good
this
point.
is my husband, we're locked in forever to not post.
Cause then think about when you got to delete it, you got tears on the screen of your phone. Like,
Yeah.
delete all these photos. Like, think about
And
that.
everybody's like, oh, what happened to the man in your photos? Like, nah, we not rocking anymore.
I'd be looking for that though. You could tell somebody going through it when you don't see
Yep.
the pictures no more. Like, damn.
Like this grid looks real different.
Right? Like, you went from 50 posts to 20. Yeah,
Yep.
interesting. So it's like, why even just eliminate all that shit and like maybe for a profile picture, sure, but like a actual post, like, oh, here we are at the pumpkin patch. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. What are we doing that for? You know?
So you never, I feel like, so you never had any girl take pictures with you at all? Like your significant
Yeah,
other,
but it's
Matt?
just in the phone. It's
It's
just in
just
the
like
phone.
never out though?
Not that
It's
I know
just,
of. I don't be on social media, so I don't know. Maybe women have posted me before, and I just never knew. But I don't have no accounts where it's like,
you'll be upset about
oh
it?
damn. Yeah, I probably would leave her for that. To be honest, I ain't gonna lie.
Damn.
What? That's crazy. I feel like that's not that crazy. If I really just don't want the shit, like I just feel like respect my wishes, right? I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the other reason too why I don't post people is I feel like you have to have a conversation about like, hey, do you care if I post this? Like, is this gonna be weird to you if you end up on my story or you end up on a post?
Right. So it's like, look at the conversations that we have now that we have to have. Like, oh, do you like if I post you or not? Or like, what if I just posted this? And okay, what about this though? You trying to post your girl and she like, oh, I don't even like how I look in that picture.
Oh man, that'd be the one.
I feel
That be
that.
the one. And it's like,
It'd be,
all
hey,
right,
but I
bro.
look good though. Like
Okay, I wasn't gonna
this
say
is my
that.
page.
This guy's a narcissist.
Yeah.
Like,
He don't give a fuck.
like what
She's
do
got
you
like one
mean?
eye closed.
Like, you see that fit though? Like, what are you talking about? That backdrop?
Is it disrespectful to crop your girl out the pic or
Ooh,
your dude out the pic?
yes,
No.
very.
What if you like Ryan said, like what if you just look good and she don't want it? Like, okay, I'll crap you out then. Like that's
Like
wild.
it's a picture, y'all both on the beach, and she like, my body. But you just looking good on the beach, and it's the sun and everything. You just like, yeah.
Let me resize this box right quick. Try not to get her arm in it. That's fucked
This
up.
gonna be this gonna be a
That's when.
Facebook photo.
See, that's when in the moment you should have looked at the pic after somebody took it and been like, "Hey, you know what? Can you just take one of me real quick?"
See,
That's a better move than the crop. I'm sick at the crop. Because then she's gonna go back and be like, "Wait, wasn't I there with you?"
I asked you though.
no. I asked you. I asked you though. See, and that's another argument. And this is a larger conversation about social media and why I hate it. But I think we can move on from. Well, do we agree? I think we all agree that dude shouldn't have lied, right?
Dude shouldn't lie, and she was in the wrong. They were both in the wrong.
Yeah, honestly,
He wasn't that wrong.
lying. I mean, it's a little white lie. Like it's a little
A little gray lie.
Yeah.
yeah.
She could have just left. She didn't really want it. Like, just go home.
And he dead wrong for that hockey puck ass steak. But let's move on to the next topic that we got for you folks. So
I'm mad it wasn't even a good cut.
it really wasn't. Like then he got a minute steak. Like then he got a motherfucking
That was a sirloin.
you think it was a sirloin? I don't know. Which I mean that's straight. I mean it's better than like a little, you know what I'm saying, like some flank steak or some shit. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this next
Man,
topic.
don't disrespect Flank.
I'm sick because I actually have some flank steak in the kitchen right now.
If it's Mexican style,
I'm not gonna lie though, it is chewy as hell. So yeah, I'm a little sick.
yeah, throw it away.
Yeah.
Um,
Tough.
so let's continue to talk about dating. I think that dating is obviously different. It's a different time. We got Tinder. We have Bumble, Hinge, all those different apps. We got BLK. You know what I mean, for all the different apps for the people that want to date and shit like that. And so some people having a hard time, with dating and stuff like that, which I understand. It's a different time now, but it looks like they have, it may have a potential solution in South Korea. So it seems like now in South Korea they're offering to pay people 500 a month to re-enter society. And so re-enter society is something like kind of get back out there on the dating pool or just kind of go out and be social more. But I just kind of want to see the implications of this and like, is this really going to change like what if they did that in America? Would that maybe change the landscape of dating? Because maybe he could have took her out for that steak dinner if he was getting $500 a month. You know.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad at getting $500 a month to be more social. I definitely feel like that. I'm really curious to see how this is going to actually end up playing out because I feel like that should help you to get out more, right? I guess in South Korea they have people who are like basically like total hermits, total loners. Like they're not necessarily participating in school, working, like they're not living their daily lives basically, and this money is supposed to help them do that. So I don't know. I think it would be interesting to try in the U.S. I think what will be interesting is in the next generation, like the folks who are younger than Gen Z, who are super, super, super into social media, super into the phones. Like, at what point white me need this? You know what I'm saying? White me might need to get them encouraged to actually leave the house, and then we might have to pay folks to leave the house.
And yeah, because it's interesting because it looks like the youths are like age 9 to 24, and that's the people that are eligible. So it sounds like it would, you know, affect that TikTok generation. Like if they did bring it here. Also, it says in South Korea, 338,000 of young Koreans live in isolation,
Ooh,
which I feel like that's a big
sick.
number.
Yeah.
I don't know what South Korea's population is, but I feel like that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Man, y'all taking all the
Somebody's
fun out of this topic. Like, I thought we was gonna joke and laugh on this shit, but like, damn, y'all, this shit kind of sound depressing. I thought it would be funny, but I guess maybe this ain't a funny story. I thought we were gonna laugh like about like they really paying $500 a month for people to go date. Like that's ridiculous.
What would you guys do with the extra $500 a month? Like, would that actually encourage you to get out more?
I'm paying that off my rent,
Oh God.
and I'm gonna go out to eat. Like be like, all right, like I'm gonna go grab a meal like once a week, maybe a meal and a drink.
So it would make you more social.
But
Yeah.
that's already because I do that though. I'm not one of those niggas who in the house like, and they would have to give $500 to. But even if I wasn't, I'd be like, yeah, I be in the house all the time. I need that 500.
Man, sorry, I'm reading this article. This
Uh-huh.
is very depressing. So, somebody told the South Korean government it was hard to leave the house, even if you muster up the courage to go outside. Making eye contact with people was difficult. And they said that some of these people have literally stunted their physical growth because of lack of nutrition and actually like moving their bodies. Damn.
Oh my god. Damn. How can we be funny about this shit?
I know. Give those people $1,000 a month.
For
500
real.
ain't enough.
But I was gonna say, like, will this really incentive? Because, like, what's the reason why they're not going outside? Because they don't have enough money? Is that what it is, or is it a mental thing?
Imagine it being painful just to look at someone else.
I mean, I don't like making eye contact with people too. Like, I feel that. I understand. But at the same time, yeah, it is kind of like, bruh, like you don't got no social skills
Yeah, it's like, how do you work or do anything in life?
by looking at the floor. What you mean? Looking around. That's the only way you could do it for real.
I don't know. Those type of people is like, why do you even want them out anyway?
That is true.
It's
That's true
like
because
those
it's
would
gonna
be
be
the
weird and awkward.
serial killers and the people like that. That just like something's off with them.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. That's just people that's just not as socially active. You know what I mean? They don't got to be serial killers.
And I think, like, from a government's perspective, like, those people end up becoming a drain on the economy because you need those people to spend money. They got to have jobs and make money, and they got to reproduce. Like, we need y'all to have some kids who can contribute to this society. You spend money on these kids too. That's all the government's thinking about. They just need it. This is cutting into the government's money. That's the only reason I got an issue with it.
That's a great point. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, so they want them to come out and go spend money and shit like that and reproduce so it can be more South Koreans. You know, it makes sense to me. Damn, it said here that nah, I don't want to. I'm not gonna take it more darker than it already is because this is already a dark
It's a
topic.
sad ass article.
It really is.
The thing was, like, I didn't even read the article. I just read the title and I was like, oh, this is funny as fuck.
Oh, it was not.
What you think was funny though? Like we can get into the funny. Like what?
I don't know. I was just like, this is just it's crazy. It's like, what, $500 to some person that like just, I don't know. To me, it's just like you giving money away for free to do like anything.
Look how deep this is. It says that they'll also give these kids $250 in cash for plastic surgery, so that they can get things like correcting scars, getting rid of tattoos, fixing their teeth, and other disfigurements that make it difficult for them to interact with people in daily life. Dang.
America don't give us nothing, man. I swear, bro. Like,
Not really.
why don't they give me 500 in America?
Every month too.
I'm telling you, all them motherfuckers gonna do is go buy a blow up doll and buy one of them sex robots and then go right back to the crib. Like, I feel it though.
At least they
Like,
put it into
that's
the
really what
economy.
Exactly. You know, that if I was you, or if I was one of them that was living in South Korea, I'm buying stock in robot sex dolls.
You ever went to
1000%.
a sex store?
Mm-hmm.
You ever went to a sex store?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because you were just talking about the sex doll?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have.
What'd you buy?
You know, I was just browsing.
Did you do it with your significant other or was it by yourself?
Nah, it was some nasty shit. I went by myself. Like that's worse. Like going by yourself, being like, what they got in here?
That means
Yeah,
he definitely bought the sex doll.
I've never went alone.
Definitely bought the sex doll.
No, definitely not. Man, too rich for my blood. What you say, right?
I said I've never went to the sex store alone. Like never.
Okay.
That. But
Player. Okay.
no, I mean online. I definitely like shopped online and bought some shit, but like
It goes in that brown unlabeled box.
Let me get this 1,000 pack of condoms. Like that's some crazy shit. Like, how you get 1,000 pack though? Like, No, but actually, now that I'm thinking about it, that is sick though. Going to the sex store by yourself as a man is some sick shit. Because it's like, what are you there for? Like, why are you here?
I feel like you would find like maybe some like my. You might be able to find your significant other or like somebody to date. Like that might be the perfect place, really.
What? No,
An extra
women.
freaky bitch, yeah.
For real, like this motherfucker, like chains and whips. Wait, dude. I was about to say I don't. I've seen women in a sex store before, like when I went, but like I feel like
Of course,
I don't know what's the demographic though. Like I don't know.
everyone.
I guess.
Maybe I've been in one for fun, but I've never like seriously went to one. I'm trying to think. Like I said, maybe for fun, but I've never seriously been like, let me peruse.
You ever play any like 6 card games or board games, dice? Nothing.
Nah, that shit extra to me. No, that shit. I don't know. You know what I wondered about? Like I don't know. Like the generation before us used to always talk about edible panties and shit like that. I always wondered like what that was. Like, is it like a gummy candy?
Yeah, I feel like it's like a fruit roll up. That's always what I imagine.
Yeah, like I couldn't never find them when I went because I was like, let me just see what this shit like.
That just seems like unsanitary to me
They
as
got
a
the
woman.
lube
Like,
that like is edible though and like has flavors.
yeah.
I like the. I don't mind the candles that heat up and you pour the candles on.
Oh, that's wild.
No.
Yeah. I'm not trying to get burnt. I used to always watch people do that in movies and music videos. I'm like, some extra hot shit does not seem arousing to me. Like, ow!
What the fuck? Like that hurt.
No, it's not bad though. It's actually. It's like it doesn't really burn you though.
I ain't gonna lie. I have been to like like where they be having like all the porno videos. I definitely been in there too, just to see.
And what'd you see? Did
I
those
bought a couple
stores?
things.
I was gonna say, do they still have
You a
stuff
nasty
like
nigga, man.
I know. I bought a couple videos, like big
like
tits
DVDs?
something. Yeah, like DVDs, like big tits something. I don't know. Like
You don't
I
look at the
definitely bought a
back
couple.
cover and the front. Like this looks pretty good.
Crazy thing is, like I went in there, like like how you can go to Walmart, you see like the discount, the discount DVDs. I
Yeah.
definitely bought the ones with the sticker, like $2.99 on them. No, I definitely, I don't went in a couple of them just because I just want to see, because we come from the era of the internet, so I just wanted to
hmm
see like what is it like. I just wanted to see like what it was like.
So what was the quality like?
Oh, it was good quality, like the camera quality.
Well, I just feel like, with the internet, people just put out whatever. I feel like back then you might have had some real productions with some real lights, some real cameras.
It was definitely like the ones with the intro joint, like had the little sexy music, had the intro, and then there would be like somebody might knock on the door, like, oh, I didn't know somebody was coming today. Like one of those, one of those types of things. Like it was definitely that vibe.
Oh,
Like
you here to clean
know
my
Snoop.
pool?
right here, pool cleaner. He said what?
Y'all know Snoop
Oh,
had a
Snoop.
tape.
Yeah, I heard about that. I never seen it though.
I saw it when I was a kid.
For real.
Yeah,
Like
like
he
that
just
was.
sponsored it, all right. He wasn't in it.
No, he was in it.
What the
Ooh.
fuck?
The thing was, he was around. He wasn't naked, but he was around.
He was
Like
just there,
from
like, yeah.
the thing was, I was like literally like I had to be less than 10 or some shit like
How,
like
how
around
did
that
you get a
time.
hold of that?
No, it was like I had older brothers and shit. I didn't have it,
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, it was one of those stories.
You just went through
So
this stuff and you were like, aha.
no. It was wild shit growing up. I ain't even put that on there. I ain't gonna
Motherfucker
put
put it
that
on the
on.
big screen.
But yeah, it was something wild night that my big brother. So
Putting this shit on the big screen is crazy, bro. Like watch party for real. But that's not weird though that he was just standing there just supervising and like he just in a video. I just feel like that's strange. Like it's a good business move.
from what I remember, it was like a pool party, and
Mhm.
it was like Snoop's pool party, and it was just people just having sex. I don't know. Like being a kid is like I wasn't like I masturbating anything at that age. I wasn't even like that old enough yet. So it was just seeing it was just like I don't know why I even still remember it. But it was weird. I guess one of the first times I actually saw it was Snoop. And then like later on, I realized, oh, this guy's a rapper.
Wow. So that was your introduction to Snoop.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
I remember when Lawrence Fishburne daughter.
Ooh.
That was a time too.
Yeah.
What was her name? Montana, and she had
Yep.
she had that ass acne.
Laura's
I definitely
Fishburne
remember.
daughter. She had a tape?
Yeah.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think she was a star. Like,
Yep. She was lit for a moment.
I remember when that shit came out.
Me too.
Let me see if I can find this Snoop Snoop video. I just want to see. I just need to see like what was.
I doubt it was. I doubt it's out. It's one of those DVD type tape shits back in the day.
Snoop has been in literally every type of business possible. Like any type of check that a human being can get, he's gotten.
No, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I see it right here. Damn, that's crazy.
What site is it on?
That's a good question. That is a good question. Oh man, y'all ain't gonna get me today. No, but for it's on it's on it's on XNXX.
SnoopFappy.com.
Snoop Fappy.
Go check it out.
They got the full joint on here. That's crazy. They got the full 87 minutes. That's wild.
87 minutes.
It was a whole tape. Like it was a whole thing.
He's like, all right, cut. All right, we're ready for scene 2. Yeah, but yeah, this episode is over. If you got this far, thank you so much for listening to this very discombobulated episode.
Oh, it's gonna be very discombobulated for sure.
On God. Thank you for listening. This has been the Friends Podcast, and we out. Peace out.